Am I gonna get zeroed in 2891? I know a lot of players, have been wondering about this since the implementation of DKP system. Players have really tried to use the system to evaluate who are the dead weights and who are not dead weights. So one thing that I will tell you right now is that we're not going to get zeroed in 2891. We're going to talk about the story in here also, further more details into the 2 versus 2 Kingsmail that we talked about. And I'm here to show you that, the Autarch list has already been given and we are in this list. We are in the top 100 players of the contributing factor for the success of this war or a success of this KVK. So I'm proud to announce to you guys that we are going to get the Autarch item in here. I haven't, explored this very much because I never really cared about it. And I think it's really an honor because we're going to get to purchase some inscriptions eventually, I believe. This is how it's going to work. I'm going to explore this once it's available to me. So let me show you my name in here. For all those who support us, I want to tell you guys that this is an amazing time. I'm also going to discuss a little bit about DKP in here as well. So basically, we are here into the list. Where is my name? I should be here. Oh no, was I not here? I know we're here. I checked it before we start recording in here, but it's just hard to find again. Man, I am so bad at trying to find my name or somebody else's name in here. You can see Godfather is here, Shinigami, but that's not me. I'm Shinchi42. Why is it so hard to find the cat picture in here? Where am I? All right, I am right here actually. Shinchi42, as you guys can see. Okay, so we are in the list here for the kingdom of D91R. So one thing I want to take a brief discussion in here about the DKP, and then we're going to move into showing some screenshots on the 2 versus 2 because it feels like, I think 78 felt like they were targeted, but I'm going to explain further more, details as well and more proof of screenshots as well. So first, let me talk about the DKP system and how the 2891 have done their process in here. I like the leadership in here because they're very considerate. There are going to be about 30 plus players who are going to be booted out of the kingdom that were in the top 300 that didn't contribute. So they are going to be removed, and then we're also going to be getting some new group of players as well joining us in here as well. So the migration, I think, is looking really good for our kingdom. The DKP system and how this kingdom did it is very nice. Now, as you guys remember, we played in other kingdoms. I never had any issue in 1412 because I always fought when it matters. So I joined another kingdom previously, which, I believe, I put in effort and fought when it mattered, right? So the thing here is that many kingdoms fail to represent the true DKP. Okay, what do I mean about this? A lot of players will fight, right? Gain kill points whenever the situation is not important. So whenever there's big clash and big wars, that's where the, progress is. That's the most important part. So in 2891, there's a specific time frame when the pass opens, first 8 hours, first 12 hours until you secure that zone, or if it continues and you count everything. But as soon as we secure the area, the fighting that ever happens, it doesn't count because it's meaningless. And other kingdoms will still count those points. One thing. And then another thing is that players who get zeroed try to purposely get rallied, get their DKP counted as well. So that's another misrepresentation of DKP. So those are some of the few things in here that I saw that is very unique and very different in 2891. They really try to represent the true value of DKP. When fighting matters, it counts. When fighting doesn't matter, it doesn't count. The time when your alliance pushes, and after Kingsland, I believe they kind of didn't count the DKP anymore in here. I think maybe some of the days when we pushed, there were some counted in there, but I don't know what they did after that. But I believe also they've reduced the percentage by 65% also, because the fighting have ended way early in here, so a lot of players didn't get the opportunity to fight as well. I didn't get a whole lot of opportunity as well. I don't think I even got an opportunity to fight really in Kingsland. We did some rallies and zeroed other players, but I think those didn't even count. I think most of the fighting that counted was really from the previous zones as we were making our pushes in here. So that's one thing that I want to point out in here on how the 2891 DKP system is. So if players are going to be watching the kingdom in here in the future, as we're going to get more spotlight, you guys have a better understanding of the DKP of 2891. And I think a lot of kingdoms should look into the blueprint of what 2891 is doing. And I don't know if this is the only kingdom is doing this, but I think every kingdom should be doing this, that counting the DKP when it matters only. And players who purposely try to get zeroed, I think those stats should not count. All right, I don't think that should count, because it's really skewing up the DKP of the players. Now, if you don't want to do DKP, it's fine. Get rallied, it's fine. But when you're trying to reward players within the DKP rankings, then that should not count, because players who put in hours and hours of work on killing, fighting in the open field, and in a player comparison who gets rallied and get like millions of DKP, that's just not fair, right? I don't think it's fair for you, and I think many of you guys can agree. So that's one point to talk about with the DKP. And yes, we are in the Autarch list, so I'm going to present that to you guys when we get it. So we did work hard on this one. We did put some work, like every KVK, we did put some work, and despite of whatever people tell us, we've always put work in this account. Although my KP is very low, but we've always put work because of our debts. Is absolutely insane. We got 25 million debts already. That's insane for this account, and for a player who hasn't been spending a lot. I don't even have 6 marches in here. A lot of players compare us to other content creators. I don't give a damn. I don't give a shit. Just to let you guys know, I don't give a damn. A lot of people don't even watch a full thing. Like, I've only had one time where I got 6 marches, right? And I just want to point that out to every single one who's watching in here. Please stop comparing me to other content creators, because all of them, or majority of them, not going to say all of them, but majority of them that you guys compare me with spends 10 times more than me. As you guys have seen, I have not been spending anymore, or not very much within Rise of Kingdoms. I'm just enjoying the game, and let me enjoy the way I enjoy as a low spender, or as a very, very minuscule spender now in Rock. So let's talk about the drama, right? I didn't intend to make it a drama, but it became a drama. I got a lot of message. I got message from 78 as well. I just want to say this, a message to 78. I'm sorry if that video that I did kind of ruined a little bit of a reputation or something, but that's not my intention in here. The intention of the King's Mail that I've talked about in here from Bilal is that is a story of why we ended up having a 2 versus 2. Now, the main thing in here is that it says here 78 started threatening us that 79 and 84 are trying to do a 3 versus 1 against 91. So I did get some screenshots in here, and I'm going to show you right now. So basically, this is the screenshot that when I was told by Bilal, is that this is the decision maker for why 91 did not want it to ally with 78, because, first of all, Mastery, if you're watching this, I know you're a cool guy. We did some one-on-one. I have no political opinions about all of this at the end of the day, but I'm just trying to present the facts in here and try to give some perspective as well. So I believe when you sent this message, the leadership in 91, felt like if we did end up teaming up with you guys, that you guys would just turn your back around in the middle of the KVK. So the 91 leadership did not want to take this risk. So it was a risk assessment, and they said, okay, 78 probably not the best candidate for us to team up with, and because of this message. Now, I believe Vex was telling me that this was not even presented to their, team. So there's probably some breakdown of communication within 78. So this occurred in May. That's important as well. Is the date in here? All right. Now there was messages in here as well that was shared to me. Basically, this is indicating that 3 versus 1 was agreed upon on May 24th. So this is May 24th. This one is May 23rd. All right. This is May 24th. As you can see, we had a vote in council if they are fine with 3 versus 1, and they all said yes. So 84 is kind of down for it. Now, I don't know what server Sevi is, or I think Genesis from 78. All right. And then more, talks in here, basically indicating that it will be a 3 versus 1. And then says here, I thought 81 was merging into 91. I don't even know what that sense is, but anyway. So here's a message from Genesis. 70 is going to move forward for planning and Diplo, as it will be a 2 versus 2 KVK. So the date here, this is now 7 days after the conversation with Mestri. All right. So Genesis here indicates that it will be a 2 versus 2. It is honestly the best for 78 and for all the 3 kingdoms in the long run. All right. We have been in the shadows, and it's time for us to be able to make the name for ourselves. And I think 78 did a wonderful job in fighting. I fought them as well. I have no negative feedback for them, honestly. And we have a lot of people that has come to our KD that has been held back last season. Not to mention our KVK against 79 was a rough one for our morale. So we need opportunity to go crazy this season. 3 versus 1 will not allow us to reduce our power for next seeding after. So I feel like there was a breakdown of communication between the council member. I think Mestri is a council member, and with their, with basically their team in 78, because, Mestri might have given his personal opinion and our leadership might have taken it in a different perspective. So basically here, more so 84 than us, others, because of the foot traffic that last KVK against 91 had, and going after 3 versus 1 would hurt 84's image. Now, I adore and respect all of you, both, and enjoy playing when working with both. I just wanted to all hear it from us so that it did not look as if we were sneaky and flipped behind the scenes without letting anyone know. So that is really good information in here from 78. Now, 78 and 91 Diplo. There was communications in here. This is, again, 7 days after the conversations between the Mestri conversation in here. It says here that they informed 79 and 84 that we'll be not seeking a 3 versus 1 this season, and we'll be moving forward in a diplomatically as if we were camp leading in 2 versus 2. Overall, I think it is what's best, not just for 78, but for everyone as well. All right. So a little message in here from our team. Looks very casual in here. All right. So casual conversations in here. Seems like, there was no bad blood. Honestly, I think teams respect each other's in here. But, the story on the King's Mail, from what Bilal have pretty much have said, see, even here, they've agreed in here. It's all good doing a 2 versus 2. All right. But I think I don't know the back end of the whole thing in here also with like our leadership, in that 7 days, what other conversations they had before that. So that's very important and very critical, because even if they say that they have decided that they're going to do 2 versus 2, I think the leadership in here in 91 have already decided that it is going to be 2 versus 2 because they're not going to be teaming up with 78 regardless of whatever happens because of the issue arises in here. All right. And with this message in here, this is a big push for 91 on not being a team with 78. Another issue that was brought up in here is the DKP. If you want to do a 2 versus 2 and take the star without putting the DKP score, then we would rather lose a 1 versus 3. So, and then Mestri actually says here, right? I completely understand, but of course we will fight. Problem is we can't compare 91 to 78 in terms of DKP because you're a lot bigger than us. So, it's really kind of difficult to say things in here, what really, with the context of everybody. But what I can see in here is that with Mystery, he's trying to push in here that, they're eager to have that star. That's the main goal of their KVK, is to obtain star. And of course, our team will also want to succeed, right? We want the star as well. I can see it as well in the conversation, but it has to be based on the contribution, as what Godfather said here with the DKP. So who puts out more should deserve the star. And I agree with that statement as well. So if 78 hypothetically allied with 91 and weren't able to produce more DKP than 91, then they don't deserve the star, because there's more players in the server with our server then, right? So yeah, basically that's pretty much what happens in here. So basically, those were the stuff that happened in the situations of the talk. I'm sure there's a lot more. I think 78, whenever they reached out to me, they were pretty nice. So I don't want to kind of like set them off the list in here for you guys. I think there's a really good breakdown of communication between the council members, the leadership, and I think they should reassess and discuss on strengthening their communication further. So with that being said, to reiterate from the beginning in here, I've always put my best whenever there's KVK. Whenever I don't have the time, I always let the leadership know. And despite of what other people think and what other people say, I don't really care. I think we've always put out the best that we can and always contributed when it matters. Of course, whenever the KVK ends, whenever we progress, we capture, we have secure on this area, I don't really fight because there's no progress. When we're trying to build in progress, and advance, I am there. Now, with the situation that happened into the last kingdom, for some reason, I kind of feel like it's more like a publicity to, put my name out in a king's mail and to send me out of a kingdom. And, I'm not going to lie about it. That's what I feel. And because I specifically know that I contributed into that KVK, and even Morningstar, previous leader, I'm going to bring his name back again in here. He knew that I contributed as well. So I think there's a lot more into that before people chew up the conversations of what other people post on the internet. I hope that you guys will actually understand that we were there, we were fighting, we were even live streaming on fighting. But anyway, that's all I gotta do. That's all I gotta say. I've always grinded in the fights in here. Anyway, I'll see you guys again next time. Peace out.